Imagine the earth shuddering beneath your feet, a roar like thunder echoing through ancient tunnels, and in an instant, the world above vanishes. Dust chokes the air, rocks cascade like avalanches, and 33 men find themselves entombed in the bowels of the planet. This is the story of the Chilean miners who defied death itself, surviving 69 days in a hellish underground prison. Welcome to Buried Alive, the 33 miners who survived 69 days underground. If tales of human endurance against impossible odds grip you, hit that subscribe button now for more true survival stories that will leave you breathless. The San Jose mine, nestled in the arid expanse of Chile's Atacama Desert, was a beast of a place, riddled with veins of copper and gold, but scarred by decades of exploitation. Below, the mine's shafts plunged over 2,000 feet into the earth, a labyrinth of dimly lit corridors humming with the grind of machinery. The miners, hardy souls from humble backgrounds, descended daily into this maw, their helmets' lamps piercing the perpetual twilight. Laughter echoed amid the clank of drills, bonds forged in sweat and shared peril. But on August 5, 2010, the air grew thick with foreboding. Whispers of structural weaknesses had circulated, yet the drive for profit silenced them. As the shift began, the men filed into the depths, unaware that fate was about to seal them in. Deep underground, the first tremors rippled like a warning from the earth's core. Tools clattered to the ground as the walls groaned, a low rumble building to a deafening crescendo. Suddenly, the main ramp collapsed in a cataclysmic explosion of rock and debris, blocking the only exit. Dust billowed like a storm cloud, blotting out the faint lights, turning the air into a suffocating fog. Coughs and shouts pierced the chaos as the miners scrambled for safety, hearts pounding in terror. 33 of them made it to the emergency refuge, a cramped 540-square-foot chamber stocked with meager supplies. The space reeked of stale air and fear, its metal walls cold and unyielding. As the dust settled, silence descended, broken only by the distant creaks of settling rock. Were they alone in this tomb? How long until rescue? The questions hung heavy, unanswered in the oppressive dark.
In those initial hours, despair clawed at their souls. The refuge, designed for short-term survival, held canned tuna, biscuits, and water, enough for perhaps 2 days if rationed strictly. Imagine the dim glow of emergency lights flickering on sweat-streaked faces, eyes wide with shock. The men huddled together, the heat rising from their bodies, turning the air humid and thick. Luis Urzua, the shift foreman, emerged as a leader, his voice steady amid the panic. He organized them into groups, one for sanitation, another for inventory, a third for morale. But as days blurred into one endless night, hunger gnawed like a living thing. They sipped condensed milk diluted in water, savoring each drop as if it were nectar. The sounds were haunting, the drip of condensation from the ceiling, the occasional rumble that sent shivers through the group. What if another collapse came? Would the surface even know they were alive? 17 days passed in this subterranean limbo, a test of human will that pushed them to the brink. The miners' bodies weakened, skin sallow under the artificial light, muscles atrophying from inaction. Emotions swung wildly, moments of prayerful hope shattered by waves of utter hopelessness. They etched messages on the walls, farewells to loved ones above, their fingers tracing letters in the grime. Yet, amid the despair, flickers of humanity endured. They shared stories of families, dreams of fresh air and sunlight, their voices echoing softly in the confined space. One miner, his face gaunt, fashioned a makeshift domino set from scraps, the clack of pieces, a fragile rhythm against the silence. But as supplies dwindled to nothing, starvation set in. They resorted to eating a teaspoon of tuna every 48 hours, their stomachs twisting in protest. The air grew fouler, laced with the metallic tang of fear sweat. How much longer could they hold on? Was anyone even looking for them?
Above ground, the world watched in agony. The collapse had triggered alarms, but initial probes revealed a blocked shaft, no signs of life. Families gathered at the mine's entrance, tents sprouting like a makeshift village under the relentless sun. Tears streamed down weathered faces as rescuers drilled exploratory boreholes, slender tubes snaking into the earth like lifelines. The desert wind howled, carrying dust that stung eyes already red from weeping. Engineers worked around the clock, their drills whining in futile attempts to breach the rock. News crews swarmed, beams from cameras cutting through the night, broadcasting the heartbreak globally. But doubt crept in. After 2 weeks, survival seemed impossible. Then, on day 17, a miracle pierced the veil. A drill bit broke through into the refuge, the metallic grind echoing like salvation. The miners, alerted by the vibration, rushed to attach a note to the probe. Estamos bien en el refugio, los 33. We are well in the shelter, the 33. Imagine the jubilation as the note surfaced, ink smudged but words clear, pulled from the depths like a message from the grave. Cheers erupted at Camp Hope, the family's vigil site, hugs and sobs mingling in the dry air. The world exhaled in collective relief. But this was no end, only the beginning of a Herculean rescue. The miners were 2,300 feet down, trapped in a chamber the size of a small apartment, with unstable rock threatening further collapses. How to extract them? The clock ticked, for their sanctuary was no paradise. It was a pressure cooker of heat, humidity, and dwindling oxygen. Engineers scrambled, devising 3 parallel plans: A, B, and C, each a race against time. Plan A involved widening an existing shaft, but progress was agonizingly slow, the drill bits grinding against unyielding granite. Visuals of massive machinery under floodlights, sparks flying like fireworks, captured the urgency. Plan B, a Strata 950 drill, promised speed but risked cave-ins. Plan C, a Canadian rig, targeted a different angle. Below, the miners received supplies through the narrow boreholes, palomas they called them, doves delivering food, medicine, and letters. Imagine the whir of the capsule descending, packed with fresh fruit that tasted like heaven after weeks of deprivation. Video links were established, grainy images flickering on screens, allowing tearful reunions with families. Yet, tension simmered. The heat soared to 90 degrees Fahrenheit, humidity at 85%, turning the refuge into a sauna where sweat never dried. Health issues mounted, fungal infections from the damp, dental woes from poor nutrition. Would the drills reach them before their bodies gave out? As weeks stretched into months, the underground world became a microcosm of society. Urzua implemented a democratic system, votes on decisions, shifts for chores to maintain order. The men exercised in the tunnels, their footsteps echoing in the vast emptiness, bodies silhouetted against flashlight beams. Spiritual solace came from a makeshift altar, candles casting dancing shadows as they prayed. But cracks appeared, arguments flared over rations. Isolation bred paranoia. One miner battled depression, his eyes hollow, staring into the abyss. Above, the family's resolve hardened, their camp a beacon of hope with banners fluttering in the breeze. 69 days in, the breakthrough came. Plan B's drill punched through on October 9th, the roar of success vibrating through the earth. Jubilation above. Engineers embraced, the desert night alive with cheers. Now, the Phoenix capsule, a narrow, bullet-shaped pod designed for the ascent, stood ready. Painted in Chile's colors, it gleamed under the spotlights, a symbol of ingenuity. Testing ensued, unmanned runs ensuring stability. Below, the miners prepared, donning biomonitors and helmets, their faces a mix of elation and terror. The order of rescue was set, the fittest first to test the system, then the weakest, finally the leaders. As the first descent began, the world held its breath. Would the capsule hold? What horrors awaited in the long, solitary ride up? The rescue unfolded like a meticulously choreographed drama. Florencio Avalos, the first, stepped into the Phoenix, the door sealing with a metallic click. The capsule plummeted down the shaft, a 15-minute journey through twisting rock, the whine of cables the only sound. Emerging below, he was greeted by whoops and embraces, the air electric with anticipation. One by one they ascended. Avalos surfaced to blinding sunlight, staggering into arms of loved ones, the crowd erupting in ecstasy. Cameras captured every moment, the pod breaking the surface like a rebirth. medics swarming, flags waving wildly. Mario Sepulveda, II, burst out dancing, but tension peaked with the vulnerable. Jose Enriquez, the pastor, prayed aloud during his ride, his voice steady over the radio. What if a rock shift jammed the capsule mid-ascent? As the count climbed, hope swelled. The underground dwindled from 33 to 20, then 10. The remaining men shared final moments in the refuge, the space echoing emptier, shadows longer. Franklin Lobos, a former soccer star, kicked a ball in farewell. Above, the Atacama stars twinkled coldly, helicopters thumping overhead. The last, Orzua, ascended alone, the capsule's hum his solitary companion. Emerging on October 13, he saluted President Piñera, declaring the mission accomplished. The world rejoiced. 69 days of entrapment ended in triumph. No lives lost. Fireworks lit the sky. Tears flowed freely, the desert alive with music and embraces. But as the miners adjusted to light, questions arose. How would they heal from the trauma? What scars lingered in the soul? In the aftermath, the 33 became symbols of resilience. Some toured the world, sharing their saga in books and films, their faces etched with the lines of survival. Others struggled. PTSD haunted dreams, relationships strained under the weight of fame. The mind closed, a monument to hubris, its entrance sealed like a wound. Yet their bond endured, annual reunions in the desert, laughter mingling with solemn remembrance. Imagine them now, under the same vast sky, toasting to life reclaimed. This tale isn't just survival, it's a testament to human spirit, where despair birthed unbreakable unity. What would you do, buried alive with only hope as your light? Ponder that as we close. If this gripped you, like, share, and subscribe for more epic true stories. Until next time, remember, in the darkest depths, light can always break through.